Hello, my name is Daryl Morrison from the Illinois Education Association. This video was created in cooperation with the Illinois State Board of Education. There's nothing more important to organizations like ours than for teachers to be able to do their work, teaching children. The key question is simply this: are you highly qualified as defined by the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001? If the answer is no, you need to find out what you need to do to be highly qualified. No Child Left Behind states that a teacher with primary responsibility for instructing students in the core subject areas must be highly qualified. So which teachers are affected by the requirements? Only those teachers who teach one or more of the core subject areas are affected. All elementary, middle, and high school teachers who teach one or more of the 10 core subject areas. The requirements for being considered highly qualified vary depending on your teaching assignment and the grade level you teach. For example, the requirements for teachers of kindergarten through 5th grade are as follows.
A teacher with primary responsibility for content and core academic subjects will be considered highly qualified if he or she holds an elementary or special K-12 certificate with an endorsement for self-contained general elementary education and has passed the elementary middle grades test, or holds an elementary or special K-12 certificate valid for the subjects taught and has passed the content area test applicable to that endorsement, or holds an early childhood certificate that is valid for the primary grades and has passed the early childhood test, or holds an elementary, an early childhood, or a special K-12 certificate valid for the subjects taught and qualifies with 100 points under the Illinois House.
Here are the requirements for teachers in grades 6, 7, and 8.
A teacher with primary responsibility for content and core academic subjects, whether in a self-contained or a departmentalized setting, will be considered highly qualified if he or she holds an elementary, a special K-12, or a secondary certificate valid for the subjects taught. In addition, the teacher needs to have passed the elementary middle grades test, or, for each core subject area of teaching responsibility, must have passed the content area test specific to the subject taught, or completed a major or coursework equivalent to a major, or must hold a master's or higher degree in a field directly related to the area of assignment, or holds certification from the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards or an Illinois Master Certificate, or qualify with 100 points under the Illinois House.
Here are the requirements for teachers in grades 9 through 12.
A teacher with primary responsibility for content and core subjects for grades 9 through 12 will be considered highly qualified if the teacher holds a secondary, a special K-12, or for grade 9 only an elementary certificate valid for the subjects taught, and for each core subject area of teaching responsibility has done the following: passed the relevant content area test, or completed a major or coursework equivalent to a major, or hold a master's or higher degree in a field directly related to the area of assignment, or hold certification from the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards or an Illinois Master Certificate, or qualify with 100 points under the Illinois House.
Here are the requirements for special education teachers.
A special education teacher who is new to the profession, who is considered highly qualified in language arts, mathematics, or science, and who teaches 2 or more subjects, shall be considered highly qualified in all subjects taught for 2 years after the date of first employment. After the 2-year period is passed, the teacher must meet the criteria for being considered highly qualified in the core subject area of assignment. A teacher in this situation will be treated as a veteran teacher after attaining 1 year's teaching experience, as is the case for any other teacher. That is, the teacher has 2 years before he or she will be required to meet the criteria in every subject taught, but will have access to points under the Illinois House after 1 year of teaching. A special education teacher who has completed an Illinois-approved preparation program in special education after June 30, 2002, and who has also passed the assessment of professional teaching, shall be considered highly qualified in language arts by virtue of the subject area competence if the teacher has done the following: completed coursework addressing the general curricular standards for special education teachers, passed the test of basic skills covering reading, writing, grammar, and mathematics, and passed the assessment of professional teaching, one of whose major components is the language arts.
Here are the requirements for kindergarten through 5th grade in special education.
A teacher with primary responsibility for content and core academic subjects will be considered highly qualified if he or she holds either an elementary or a special preschool age 21 certificate endorsed for the student population served and has passed the elementary middle grades test, or holds either an elementary or a special K-12 certificate valid for the subject taught and endorsed for the student population served and has passed the content area test applicable to the subject taught, or through grade 3 only, holds an early childhood certificate valid for the primary grades and for early childhood special education, or holds a special preschool age 21 certificate endorsed for the student population served and has passed the early childhood test or the early childhood special education test, or holds an elementary or special preschool age 21 certificate endorsed for the student population served, or an early childhood certificate valid for the primary grades and qualifies with 100 points under the Illinois House.
Here are the requirements for teachers in middle grades 6th through 8th in special education.
A teacher with primary responsibility for content and core academic subjects will be considered highly qualified if he or she holds a special preschool age 21 certificate endorsed for the student population served, or holds an elementary, secondary, or special K-12 certificate valid for the grade levels of the assignment and the subjects taught and endorsed for the student population served, and for each core subject area taught has passed either the elementary middle grades test or the content area test specific to the subject taught, or hold a master's or higher degree in a field directly related to the area of assignment, or holds certification from the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards or an Illinois Master Certificate, or qualify with 100 points under the Illinois House.
Here are the requirements for teachers in grades 9 through 12 in special education.
Teachers in grades 9 through 12 need to have passed a content area test specific to the subject taught, or have completed major or equivalent coursework, or hold a master's or higher in a field directly related to the area of assignment, or hold certification from the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards or an Illinois Master Certificate, or qualify with 100 points under Illinois House. Special education teachers who serve solely in a consulting role must meet the requirements of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Improvement Act, or IDEA, by possessing either a full special education certificate or a regular certificate in addition to having passed the special education exam. Special education teachers who are the teacher of record for core content subjects must meet both the IDEA requirement and the NCLB standards for the content area. A bilingual teacher who holds only the transitional bilingual certificate is not highly qualified at any level because the teacher does not hold a full certificate. However, a person with the certificate who has a bachelor's degree, who is continuously enrolled in an approved program for a regular certificate, who has passed the required subject matter or content test, and who is receiving high-quality professional development and mentoring may be considered highly qualified for a 3-year period, provided the assignment matches the grade level and the subject area of the approved program.
HOUSE stands for High Objective Uniform State Standard of Evaluation. HOUSE is an alternative method for experienced teachers to show their competence in their core subject area. With HOUSE, those already teaching don't necessarily have to return to school or get a degree in every subject they teach to show they are highly qualified. HOUSE is a system that awards points for experience, expertise, and professional training. HOUSE also determines whether a teacher is highly qualified in the core subject areas taught. If a teacher accrues 100 points in HOUSE, the teacher is considered highly qualified. Here's an easy way to find out whether you have the HOUSE points you need. This is the interactive worksheet developed by the Illinois Education Association in cooperation with the State Board of Education. You simply answer the questions in the boxes. Then follow the arrows that will help you determine if you are highly qualified in the core subject areas that you teach. The worksheet also will help you figure out whether you have enough HOUSE points to be considered highly qualified.